everybody, my name is Lenora T and this is the Home Abroad Show. Today we have Lapiro, and first of all I want to apologize. We've been gone for so long. We're so sorry about that, but right now I'm promising you here and now we're gonna give you back episodes back to back to back to back. So here we have Lapiro. Lapiro, please tell us more about yourself.
What do you guys want me to say?
What's your name? What's your actual name?
My name is Dennis. The Lapiro thing.
What inspired that?
It's a long story.
You can't make it short?
Well, the Lapiro thing came about when I was in college. Creating my Facebook page. I was just trying to run away from people finding me online. And then I thought of Lapiro, and then I liked his music. My dad loved him. I was like, oh, I could just say Lapiro,
Wow.
And that was just a joke, and then it just got
It just turned out into something serious. That's interesting. That's interesting. I've been following you for a while on Facebook. I know you cook food.
Now I'm paranoid. You've been following me.
I've been following you for a while, so I know you cook food. You sell food. You're a great cook because I've eaten your food. So I just want other people to know more about you and what you do, especially the cooking aspect, like what you sell and yeah.
To begin with, I do have a couple of things. For, let's say, statewide or nationwide, I ship out. And the things I ship out, Aero, Kwakoko, soya. That's pretty much it. But then I do a lot more, just whatever you could think of. Pretty much for people in state. For you guys around, things I can't ship. Like I can't ship pepper soup, I can't ship...
So what would you say your main...
So pretty much the main thing, Aero, soya, and Kwakoko, because those are the things that I can easily ship out. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. So, my next question is what inspired you to start doing this? Because it's not easy to come to the United States and decide to start a business like that. Everybody is inspired by something. So, what inspired you?
Yeah. So to begin with, I used to cook and just have my friends come over and eat. So I'm gonna tell you a little story. I have my friend Leslie, and I have, a couple of them, so some of them went to the army. I have my very good friend, we just call him Prof, he was a teacher in Cameroon, so he went to the army or something, and I used to cook all the time, call them, convert, we'll just eat.
Was that here or in Cameroon?
Here.
Oh, okay.
A big pot of pepper soup. So when my friend went to the army, during that time frame, I was like, okay, I have my mentor, Harry, so he'd tell me, Perika, you can't be doing this, make some money off of this, you can't keep doing that. So I was like, okay, maybe I could try doing a little business, at least just try to see if I could make it and if people would pay, So I started doing that, and then it just kept on going and going. And my friend, so when he came back, he came over and they were just eating. Normally he would just go to the pot, dish his food and eat. So when Prof tried going to the pot, Leslie was like, hey, hold it. When you chop the Lapiro, and that's where you go pay. And he was like, for real? And Leslie said, yeah, boy, now so put chop now by portion, you make it just chop like that.
Dish, no.
Yeah, you can't just eat and eat. Yeah, and so, it just started from there, and I've been doing this. It's going to about 2 years now, and, it's a part-time thing, and I also have work and stuff like that. But the main driving force is, it got to a point where I discovered that profits are better than wages. So the moment I realized that, I was still going to work, and
that's deep.
That's deep. Profits are better than wages, definitely, but they don't teach it in school. I went to work every day, come back and I would do this. So I did the cooking like my part-time. I did work full time.
Yeah.
You know, and my goal was I want to make more on my part time, or at least what I want to make on my part time. I want it to be equivalent to what I make on my full time job. You know, so I kept it going. I kept pushing, and it got to the point where I was eventually making, you know, almost the same on my full-time job as I did on my part-time job, you know, and that was really good for me, you know. So at work I stopped doing like overtime, you know, and so they asked me at work, man, they have like extra, what are you doing? I said, oh no, I have this part-time thing going, you know, and no one really cares about what you do for no one, even like your regular job, no one cares how much you make, you know. But when you tell someone you make, you know, maybe 1,000 or a couple of thousands more per month working part-time, and everyone is interested, you know. And
now you're telling us how much you really
that's just an example, you know. And so it got interesting, and then I was working, I still kept working, you know. I'm doing my part-time thing and I'm doing my full-time job, and I didn't want to quit, you know, because it might be silly, but I like telling my story. You know, this is what I'm doing, because when you tell someone you're doing your part-time thing and it's doing really good, you know, and you tell them, do you want to know what I'm doing? Everybody wants to know, you know. And so I felt good just telling my story to my coworkers, you know, and that just kept me going. And it got to a point where, you know, things started going down. You know, with work, I started having more to do in the kitchen than I needed to devote more time. So that's just, like I said, profits are better than wages. You know, you could, with profit, it just feels good. You know, like waiting for,
especially out of something that you love doing.
Exactly.
It doesn't feel like you're working.
Perfect. Like, you know, they say your worst day at something that you love is better than your best day at something that you don't like. I've never heard that, but I was able to just... you know, so it happens like that. But it's just something that I like to do, and I'm just going to keep doing it.
So you mentioned that you've been doing this for about 2 years now. So how long have you actually been in the US?
I've been here 11 years.
Wow, that's a long time. So what keeps you going? Like, what keeps you wanting to, you know, keep doing this?
You know, I used to be scared before. And when I say scared, like, I used to, sometimes they say overcautious, right? I used to, it was just the risk. You know, risk used to drive me up the wall. You know, I used to tell myself, you know, what if this happens? Or what if this happens? Look at the fits I'll be in, you know, and stuff like that. And so, and then I have, like I said, I have a mentor, Harry. He said, you know what?
Shout out to Harry.
Shout out to Harry. You know, I have a lot of mentors. He's just the one that I could talk to, or the one that I can see. The other mentors I have, they don't even know they're mentoring me. You know? But yeah, they're there.
Am I your mentor?
It depends, you know. It just depends. Yeah, like if we go toward your direction, I don't do makeup, so I don't know. I could ask you what kind of camera you have now, so I could try to keep up. But
that's okay.
Yeah,
my feelings are now hurt, but that's okay.
Yeah. So for me, it was always the risk. You know, I used to tell myself, what if this happened? What if that happened? Look at the feed I'll be in and stuff like that. So like risk drove me up the wall. Like sometimes some people, like sometimes we're overcautious. You know, like being overcautious in the sense someone's driving and there's another car coming and you're so scared you pull over because we don't have that faith that they will not hit you. Like you're taking caution, but it's just way too much, you know. And so my friend said you have to like what he always says, Harry would say, Perika, if you don't try, you never ever know.
Exactly.
You know, like if you don't try, you would never know if it's gonna work out or not. You know, and so I was like, you know what, I'll try to do this, you know, and see how it goes. I had like a lot of people. I've given you stuff one time you took to Nancy, you know, in Houston. She kept pushing, like, you have to stop, you need to do this, you need to do this. And I was like, you know what, let me go ahead and give it a try. And the very first time I started doing something, everything was just smooth, and I was like, okay, it's not as bad as I thought it'd be,
Right.
and so slowly as everything progressed, that risk factor, it just kind of got suppressed because I realized everything is risky. From the moment we are born, it's risky. You come out with a string,
Exactly. Survival of the fittest.
Yeah, every time when you wake up, like everything is risky. Driving to work is risky. Staying at home is risky.
Getting up from your bed is risky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the risk is just there, like it gets to a point where I realized that everything, like pretty much everything is risky. So why not just go ahead and do it? Because sometimes, like I was saying about being over cautioned, everything that you try to be so let me say adamant about or try to shy away from, that thing has killed someone. If there's someone that has just sat on the couch and died. There's someone that was driving to work and died.
Exactly.
There's someone that was trying to cook and died. There's someone who died in their sleep. So everything is risky. And the only way to overcome that is just do it. Just go out there.
Okay, how do you deal with competition? Because I know a lot of people are doing, the cooking and shipping and all
for competition, I have no problem with that. And here's the thing, here's my mentality with regards to that.
So what drives people to you?
Yeah, so that's what I'm getting at. For example, if you go back home, right, you will not see some lady selling jama in the okrika section, right? Everyone selling jama or Igbo cocoa is on the same line, and they're selling. So
the example though.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes we have to go back there to make people really understand. So you can't. Everyone has something that they see in someone, right? And it's how you treat your customers. That's the only thing, and that's why you see even the big giants, they're fighting every day. Walmart, Target, Crest, because it's all about the customer. Here's the thing: people will not remember you, or you will not remember where you bought this dress, but you can remember how you were treated the day you bought it. You will not remember the name of the person who sold you the dress.
That's deep.
But you will remember
Amen.
how you were treated, when you bought it. And that's just the thing. So you go to the market, there's a section designated for vegetables. There's a section dedicated for okrika. There's a section dedicated for ready-made. And you have all
there's
those
even
stores.
a section for arrow.
Yeah,
where there's just crayfish and
and there's crayfish,
and
everyone on there is selling crayfish, and they're selling.
Exactly.
And people go to the market and they pass or they skip 1, 2, 3 and they go to the fourth person.
Exactly.
And sometimes they will say, "Oh, I don't have it," and they will be like, "Are you gonna have it tomorrow?" And they will go home and
come back just tomorrow.
Because of the connection they have with the person. So over here, everyone can make kwakoko. Oh, then my next door neighbor can be making kwakoko. My customers will still be my customers.
I'm actually a business person myself, but I've never thought about it like that because I do makeup. Yeah. So what I'm thinking about, how do I make it special for every person that I do makeup for? So this actually has taught me I should use that to treat every other person. Yeah.
So if I was to incorporate my sense of direction into what you're doing, sometimes it's the connection you have with the person. The way you make the environment. Because for example, people who have their customers
so that's actually if you're an entrepreneur, you should take your notepad, open your ears and start listening.
So it's that connection, and you have to understand that sometimes it's just not about the money, and that's why most of us fail. Because we go you chase the money so much and you forget that people are human.
I feel attacked.
That's the thing that throws most
true.
people off. The times when I do transactions and I don't make any money off of it. Oh yeah, Yes,
Okay.
it happens all the time.
Okay.
You know, I don't make any, like if I have to replace, okay, say for example, you know, I have a customer I've had to replace their stuff 3 times. And the 3rd time, I shipped it to them like overnight, which was like the cost of what
Yeah,
it
overnight
was.
is like...
Yeah, like it was like $90, you know, and their product was $80. I didn't mind, you know, and that lady has been a customer, like the hot na knife from fire pee with you. You know, yeah, like we're stuck, like we're like this, you know, and just because like I decided to go the extra mile,
Right.
you know,
because someone else would just be like,
yeah, like you
I
know,
don't care, like whatever.
exactly, you know,
yeah, probably
and
send her money back.
Yeah, you know, and that's why I say sometimes it's just not about the dough. You know, sometimes the money is just secondary. You know, people have the money to spend. They don't care. You know, if you don't treat them right, they'll just go next door. And we have to have faith in people, you know, like look to the future. Don't just say, okay, today is today. So when I treat my customers, I look at the next time they'll order, I look at next month, I look at the next couple
And
of
who
months.
else they're going to talk to.
And who else, because here's the thing, everything we do at the end of the day is word of mouth. You know, I've had like 5 people call me within the last 3 days saying, I've never heard about you, you know, but this person said this and I have to try it. You know, I have one guy who came here yesterday to buy soya and he said, a friend said, do you know Lapiro? And he said, no, who is he? And she was like, so you did okay, so you never ever chop Lapiro soya.
I know some people are going to get mad about like, oh, you don't know me, you
exactly.
don't know who Lapiro is,
you know. And that alone, the guy was like, I have to try it. He drove all the way from Del City. You know, you know how far it is.
That's far.
And then when he came, I was cooking. I gave him a little bit of arrow. He tried it and he was like, boy, I need some of that arrow.
Exactly.
You know?
And he's going to tell the next person.
Yeah. And then he said, man, I can't believe the way you're handling stuff. Like, this is so professional. So it's the little things like that that you, like, most people take it for granted. And those are the things that will bump you to the next level. Or those are the things that will make people hold you apart.
So I know this is a little bit random, but I've heard so much about your car. Like everybody in Oklahoma knows Lapiro's car. So tell us about this car that you drive. If that's okay by you.
I mean, I have my name tag, Lapiro.
Exactly.
Because that's who I am. That's my name. My car is fast. You know, if you're not living life on the edge, you're taking up too much space.
You're not scared of speeding tickets?
There's a time to speed. You just have to know when to speed.
So how many speeding tickets have you had?
I haven't had any ticket this year.
Okay.
I haven't this year. But last year I had probably like 3.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So I know you don't like really, you're not into the new school music, but who's your crush?
Crush?
Yeah, among the new school people, not the old school.
My crush is my wife.
But I mean among the female celebrities.
She's a celebrity.
Oh, okay.
She's just not out there, but she is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Shout out to you. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for being on the Home and Brush show. We had Lapiro here. We had such a good time.
Oh, and there's one thing I want to say. I want to shout out to all my customers in Maryland, all my customers in Virginia, Minnesota, Houston, Ohio, Arkansas, Texas, and I'm not gonna forget where it all started, my customers in OKC. Shout out to you guys.
We out here.
And I also want to say we should always remember, if you have something in you, put it out there. You never know. Go ahead and take the risk. Sometimes
true.
you're just sitting on the fence. It doesn't matter which side you get off of. Just get off the fence. It doesn't matter if it's some people say, what if it doesn't work out? If it does not work out, you'll realize quicker and you could immediately do something else. But always keep in mind, profits are better than wages.
Woo!
And one more thing I want to say, always learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job.
Yes.
Always work hard on yourself than you do on your job.
And honestly, that's so deep because a lot of us come to the United States. You want to do CNA, LPN, but a lot of us are talented. We're barbers, we're cooks, we're makeup artists. We do so much more, but we're just stuck to this concept of what you should come here and be. But there's so much more you can do. So go out there, invest in yourself, and be the best version of yourself. Lapiro reminded us of that. So be yourself, invest in yourself, and do what you do best. Because that's what's going to put money in your bank.
Profits are better than wages.
Profits are better than wages, okay? So thank you for tuning in with us. My name is Nana T, and see you guys in the next one.
Peace out.